You wake up, check your phone, scroll through endless feeds. A flood of images, luxury lifestyles, success stories, promises of wealth, power, and status. You tell yourself you're above it, that you know true happiness isn't found in these things, and yet something inside you still craves it. The security, the admiration, the validation. They say the first step to awakening is seeing through the illusion. But what if the illusion isn't just the external world? What if it's inside of you? You consume spiritual content, listen to higher consciousness teachings, but deep down, the conditioning remains, the attachment to material wealth, the silent fear of not having enough, the unconscious belief that your worth is tied to what you own or achieve. The world has trained you to chase success, chase financial freedom, chase a lifestyle that signals you've made it. But the chase itself is the trap, a cycle that keeps you asleep while making you believe you're waking up. Real spiritual awakening isn't about rejecting the material world. It's about breaking the attachment to it, seeing it for what it really is, a tool, not an identity. So if materialism is keeping people spiritually asleep, how do they wake up? That's exactly what we're about to uncover. For centuries, the idea that spirituality and material wealth cannot coexist has been deeply ingrained in the human mind. Many believe that to awaken spiritually, one must detach completely from the material world, rejecting money, comfort, and success. But is this true? In reality, money is neither good nor bad. It is a neutral energy, a tool that amplifies the consciousness of the one who possesses it. Those who remain trapped in the belief that wealth is inherently evil unknowingly reject a key aspect of their human experience, the ability to navigate both the material and spiritual worlds in harmony. True awakening is not about escaping material reality, but about mastering it. The Buddha did not awaken in suffering. He reached enlightenment after balancing both extremes of poverty and luxury. Eckhard Tolle teaches that attachment, whether to wealth or the rejection of it, is what keeps people trapped. The key is non-attachment, to use resources consciously without being ruled by them. Instead of seeing money as a distraction from spiritual growth, what if it could be a tool to expand it? What if material success, when pursued with awareness, could actually support higher consciousness rather than block it? You tell yourself that money is just a tool, that success doesn't define you, that material things don't control your happiness. But deep down, something in you still clings to them. The ego thrives on attachment. It survives by identifying with things, titles, possessions, achievements, anything that gives it a sense of worth. Why? Because without them it feels empty, exposed, insignificant. From childhood, society conditions you to chase validation, chase approval, chase success. You're taught that more is the answer, more money, more recognition, more proof that you are somebody. But here's what no one tells you. The ego's hunger is insatiable. No amount of wealth or status will ever feel like enough. This is why materialism becomes an addiction, not to money itself, but to the feeling it provides, the illusion of control, the comfort of certainty, the temporary relief from the fear of not being enough. But what happens when you strip it all away? Who are you without the labels, without the things that tell the world who you are? Because if your identity is built on external achievements, what happens when they're gone? The question haunts every spiritual seeker. Does the pursuit of material success inevitably sabotage your spiritual evolution? Picture your consciousness as water. Material possessions aren't the poison, over-identification is. When your sense of self becomes fused with what you own, wear, drive, or display, you've fallen into the oldest trap of human existence. As Alan Watts observed, you are not the car you drive, the clothes you wear, or the money you save. Yet how easily we forget. The material objects themselves hold no power. It's the meaning we assign them that creates the cage. Spiritual awakening doesn't demand rejection of wealth. It asks for liberation from wealth's grip on your identity. Many awakened masters throughout history lived in material comfort without attachment, understanding the crucial difference between having and being. The real obstacle to higher consciousness isn't the object itself, but the shadow it casts across your true nature. When possessions become your measuring stick for self-worth, your spiritual growth withers in the darkness of that shadow. The luxury car brings excitement for a week. The promotion satisfies for a month. The dream house delivers joy for a season. Then, inexplicably, the fulfillment fades, replaced by an emptiness that whispers, "What's next?" This is no accident. Materialism functions as a perfect system to keep consciousness trapped in perpetual wanting. As Deepak Chopra explains, when you base your self-worth on external validation, you surrender your power to an illusion. Your brain releases dopamine not when you achieve the goal, but when you anticipate it. Once attained, the neurochemical reward diminishes, pushing you toward the next acquisition, the next achievement, the next fleeting high of external validation. Society reinforces this cycle with carefully crafted messaging. You are the car you drive, the watch you wear, the address on your mail. Each suggestion bypasses rational thought, embedding itself in your unconscious, creating a spiritual amnesia about your true nature. The tragedy isn't desiring nice things. It's believing nice things will fill the void that only spiritual awakening can address. The void isn't emptiness needing to be filled. It's fullness waiting to be recognized. The transformation begins with a simple question. What if everything you've been chasing exists within you already? Spiritual awakening doesn't reject material wealth. It reorganizes your relationship with it. When you discover the internal abundance that no market crash can diminish and no theft can take away, external possessions find their proper place in your experience. As Bruce Lipton discovered, your cells literally respond differently when you shift from scarcity to abundance consciousness. Your biology transforms when you recognize that fulfillment isn't something to be acquired, but realized. This isn't merely philosophical, it's practical. Those who awaken to inner wealth often find that material success flows more naturally, unburdened by the desperate energy of lack. They create, achieve, and acquire not from emptiness seeking to be filled, but from fullness expressing itself. Money becomes what it truly is, a tool for experience, not a measure of worth. Success becomes authentic expression rather than validation seeking. Possessions become joyful extensions of being, not compensations for not being enough. The journey we've traveled reveals a powerful truth. Materialism doesn't block awakening. Attachment does. The material world isn't your enemy, it's your classroom. Every possession, every desire, every achievement offers the same question. Will this define me, or will I define it? As Eckhart Tolle reminds us, to be free of the world is not to renounce the world, but to work with it consciously. The masters throughout history didn't teach rejection of life's abundance. They taught conscious participation in it. Your spiritual evolution doesn't demand emptying your life of possessions, but emptying your possessions of the power to determine your worth. When material things become expressions of your journey rather than validators of your existence, you found the middle path. So the question remains, will you keep chasing illusions, or will you start living from a place of true abundance? The choice isn't between wealth and spirituality. It's between sleep and awakening,